What's good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the NIO from a technical standpoint, why tomorrow is going to be a very massive day. So we have big data coming out. We have NIO's deliveries data coming out very, very soon, and we have some big news coming out involving the debt ceiling as the vote is going on, and we're going to find out what on earth the House is going to do with the bill, the agreement between Biden and McCarthy, and this is going to be very impactful. Before I break anything down about the debt ceiling and talk about what's going on with NIO and what the technicals are telling us, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth $3,000. And the best part is, any could be a free NIO share, a free Tesla share, or a mix of all of them. The offer ends in just about 11 hours, so check it out before they run out. There are only 11 hours left. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. NIO is up 1.62% for today, getting a very interesting bounce. It came all the way down to about 7.15, but what's interesting is this bullish divergence on the RSI has remained on the hourly time frame. Same thing with the MACD. NIO got a very nice bounce. Now, we need confirmation that NIO is getting ready to show us signs of a trend change for this to play out, and we don't have confirmation just yet. But this will depend heavily on the data that's about to come out, because we are at the last day of the month for May here in the USA, and June 1st is almost here in China, and this will affect NIO big time. So NIO's deliveries data is coming out. It's going to be very huge, and then we have the debt ceiling news all coming out, affecting the markets. Now, to start us off, let me just mention that for Thursday, we have the last major earnings day for the week. We have Macy's in the morning, Dollar General in the morning, just a couple of other ones, nothing too huge. Then Dell is coming out for Thursday, and some other tech earnings. So watch this all very, very carefully. Some interesting earnings are coming out, even ChargePoint as well. That's going to be for tomorrow's earnings. For the data tomorrow, nothing too insanely huge. We do have initial jobless claims, which is going to be important 1 hour before the market opens. Then we have the PMI report as well for the manufacturing side. That's very important too. So expect lots of volatility during the first 30 minutes. That's typically what happens, just like today. However, for Friday, please be aware we have some big data. We have the unemployment rate and non-farm payrolls all coming out on the same day at the same time. This is once again very, very important. Make sure you're ready for this for Friday. But when it comes to NIO specifically, let me just add on that NIO has a lot of big things coming out. We did see some important doctors visiting the factory at NIO Park, and they're providing lots of insights about their manufacturing operations. But on top of this, NIO has some big things coming. We have deliveries numbers coming out very, very soon. This is super important. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out, but it should be coming out either by the 1st or 2nd of June by China time. In China right now, it's around like 4 a.m. depending on your time zone. At the time I'm recording this, it's very early right there, and it is June 1st already. So NIO is going to give us their numbers for May. Typically, Mays tend to be better months for them, but remember, NIO did not have the strongest report during the latest one that came out for April, so I'm hoping for a big improvement. If NIO gives us some strong numbers, we could see this improve the share price, and this is what typically happens during their June report. Typically, NIO does a lot better during the summertime in terms of their data, so I'm hoping we get some good numbers. That's going to be good for NIO's share price. Now, on top of all of this, the bigger piece of news is the debt ceiling. Mitch McConnell came out and he said that there's a good chance that the House could pass the debt ceiling today, then pass it to the Senate, and we could see a lot of progress to be made. For now, we're still waiting for the vote at the time of recording this. If they vote yes, this could have a positive effect on the markets. If not, if they continue to delay this, the market may see lots of like sideways price action for an extended period of time. But for now, we just have to wait and see what happens with this. I really wish I could record this during the actual voting process. I'm a little bit early, so I'm really sorry about that, but there's not much that I could do about that. And this is going to be a big catalyst for the markets. But NIO's deliveries alone are going to be much bigger, and they're going to be much more impactful nonetheless. Now, to add on to this, let me just mention that NIO got 83 million in volume. We're getting good volume. We are seeing some buying pressure, not extreme though, and we're continuing to see the short volume relative to price dropping. On top of that, NIO has relatively low price price ratio. Going to be looking for a bounce around these levels since it's very, very low in terms of its relative strength. And when that happens, we tend to see NIO make big moves to the upside or try to bounce regardless and outperform the markets. NIO tends to be green 51% of the times on Thursdays, and June tends to be a relatively weak month for NIO. We're only green 44% of the time. So we'll see if we can get an improvement for the start of June depending on the data. The short interest on NIO is starting to drop a bit. We are starting to see less shorting compared to before. However, this could change moving forward depending on what happens with the data. Now, looking at NIO, it's up 1.62% for the day, getting a very nice bounce, but this is going to be heavily impacted by SPY in the QQQ. If SPY is bullish, we have to break and hold 418. We failed to do so today. We did make some strong moves, but we didn't really get a decent close above it. For us to turn bullish, a break and hold of 418 would result in a test of the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. If it breaks this and manages to hold it for many hours, there's a good chance SPY can make its way all the way back to 420. If it fails to do so, it might just be sandwiched between the 50 and the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. The 200 is strong support around 416.16. So for now, it's sandwiched between the 50 and the 200, and they will determine which way it goes. Okay, if it breaks below the 416 area, it's going to get a bigger rug pull to 415, then potentially 413, and that's going to depend on the debt ceiling. But for now, it's holding up quite nicely, and it looks like it wants to get a bounce. So we'll just have to be patient and wait on what happens at the debt ceiling. I also want to add that looking at the price action we saw from today, I think like right here on this time frame, if you look at it like this, there is technically this divergence between the price and the RSI that developed. I think on the 30 minutes, it's easier to see on the 30-minute time frame. So like right here, looking at the 30 minutes, the RSI was at 22, a little bit below that, 22 at its lowest back during this phase. And the RSI today reached about 20 flat. So we have a potential bullish divergence developing now, and this could cause the market to hold this bottom and try to see more upside. However, I'm not as certain. I don't truly know what's about to happen with the house, which is why I'm going to remain open-minded. And that's why I'm talking about the bullish and bearish cases. The odds are favoring the market holding 416, trying to bounce from here, but I'm going to be more patient because on the 4-hour time frame, we're still looking a little bit more bearish. So I have to wait for confirmation first before making any call. And sometimes there are days like that. I just can't predict the future perfectly with the debt ceiling going on. Tesla got a nice bounce at the end of the day. It started off weak. I mentioned that there's going to be downside for Tesla. We got the downside and it tested the 50, but then we got some very bullish news from the House representatives, from the Fed speakers that helps Tesla bounce. Then at the end of the day, we got a very bullish piece of news involving Elon Musk. Elon Musk potentially, displaying the new generational Model 3 and other things like that, which helped Tesla pump. And we saw Tesla just continuing to show more strength. So very nice from Tesla. However, there is still technically, this downtrend in the RSI. Could it pump a little bit more? Yes, but there is a bearish divergence starting to develop. Once again, it's not guaranteeing that it's fully developed yet. It's starting to develop, which is a big difference. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It depends on the debt ceiling. But for now, things are looking pretty decent for the market. We're not looking like we're going to crash or even pump very hard yet. It depends on the news. For the QQQ to turn bullish, we need to break and hold 348. Break and hold that, we could see a retest of 350. If it does that, that would be bullish for NIO and many other companies. It's also holding the 50 EMA quite nicely for now. So we'll see. That's going to be our major support, the 50 EMA. If that fails on the hourly time frame, then we could make our way down to 345. But for now, it's just very choppy and stuck in the middle between support and resistance between 350 and 345. We're at the 347 zone right now. In the after hours, we're down 47 cents. So it's closer to like 347.5, exactly in the middle. This is going to depend heavily on the debt ceiling. If we get something very good from the house, we could see the market bounce. If not, we may continue to chop. We'll have to wait and see on that and also how the market interprets it. To add on to that, for NIO, it's likely in the middle between 7.25 and about $8. We're just stuck in the middle for now, and it's going to react heavily to what happens with deliveries. If we get strong deliveries, okay. If we're bullish after deliveries, there's a bullish divergence developing on NIO. On the RSI, let me see, it's right here. Sorry about that. Right here on the RSI, it's developing. MACD, it's developing. This will play out if we get a good deliveries report, and NIO is going to fly all the way back up to this imbalance. $8 will come, maybe even 8.61. If it's not good and NIO fails on us and does not give us a good deliveries report, it could continue to develop this bullish divergence. It could fail still, and we could see NIO make its way all the way down to $7, if not 6.5. Okay, so be open-minded to anything. I am leaning a little bit more bearish, seeing the bullish divergence and how the market's holding up right now with the debt ceiling. But once again, always be open-minded and patient and get ready for tomorrow. All right, guys, so thank you all for listening. Have an absolutely spectacular rest of the day. Don't forget about the Webull link. The offer ends very soon. Any amount of money deposited will get you up to 12 free stocks. The offer ends in about 11 hours. I also have some merch for you guys if you want to buy a tank top or hoodie or t-shirt that says "to the moon" or "eat, sleep, trade, repeat" or something like that. It's your option and it should be around the comment section if you're interested in getting anything. All right. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. NIO in the market to the moon as the long term is still incredibly bright. And peace out.